Hey everybody, I'm back with a new update from what's new at the automation school. I know it's been only been a couple days, but there's a lot of stuff I want to cover with you, and I'm going to go through this quickly. I got some great news this morning, but let's switch over to my presentation here, my notes, and the let's go through some of these now. Before I get to the big news, I do want to talk about some new things happening at the school. Just a reminder, if you want to save 20% off any online courses or online course bundles, that spring sale, spring 2026 coupon ends May 31st. So it's only like, I think that's Sunday. So keep that in mind. Also, last chance to enroll in my in person Compact Logics course here, June 9th through 11th. You need to have at least two people to enroll in that. Today's the last day, or so you have to contact me today if you want to get into that. If you have two students or more, let me know. Um, Logic's live sale. This is what I talked about. I think it was 2 days ago. It seems like forever ago now. But in any case, yeah, I think it was Wednesday where I talked about the new Logix Live, 20 hours of online instruction, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern for the summer, and every Tuesday night. And so that is sale is live right now. You can enroll in that. Um, I also am working on. If you could see my desk, you would see all kinds of. I got Adobe Premiere open and all kinds of videos I'm working on. So there's new lessons actually coming out for Monday. First of all, in all of the Rockwell courses, you will find new lessons on finding Rockwell resources. So, Rockwell changes their website quite often, so I'm constantly updating that lesson. So that's for every Rockwell course I have, as well as finding your local rep. That lesson has is going to be updated too. So that's Appendix R for rep, and so those are all going to be updated in all the Rockwell courses. And then the ones I'm finishing right now, I found a glitch in a couple, so I have to re-upload them. But the Control Logics 5570, 5580, and 5590 lessons. That's 30 minutes of new educational content, no additional cost to you. And that is coming. I hope to get it up today, but it'll probably be Monday when they're all up. And that includes the new slide decks that you're going to be able to download. They're very extensive slide decks. I put a lot of work into them. So really taking what Rockwell had and updating it and combining it because the information is spread across so many different decks. But since I get the slide decks from Rockwell for free, they give them away to everybody for free. I'm putting my notes on it, updating them, combining them, and then giving them to students for free. So look for that no later than Monday. That's going to be in the new 2026 course. If you're looking at your course list, it'll be listed as Early Access Control Logics. And right as soon as that's done, I'm doing the compact logics. I actually recorded one of the compact logics, the 5370, but I haven't recorded the rest. And then I have the micro. They're ready to go. I just got to record them. So recording the lesson takes about 20 minutes. Editing it takes about 60 minutes to 90 minutes. So, just to get everything to line up correctly. And, you're not, unless you're going to spend 3 or 4 hours creating a script, you're going to make some gaffes when you're recording them. So that all has to be edited and smoothed over and whatnot. So in any case, those are exactly what I'm going to move next is do the 5380, 5390. And so those will be up either Monday or Tuesday. And then I'm moving on to the Micro 800. So these are all the early access 2026 courses. That's where I'm putting all my time when I'm not training here. I'm putting all my time into those. And then I already have all the documents open and ready to go. I'm going to be recording all 6 courses. So that's Control Logics, Compact Logics, Micro 800, Micrologics, 6500, PLC5, all of those lessons on what is the most important documents to have. And I've noticed a lot of the original Micrologic 6500 and PLC5 documents are missing from Rockwell's website. So I'll be putting together zip files because if you're using those legacy products, you need that legacy information, right? So that said, what I'm in development now, I'll be working on this on the weekend, is that's my phone going off, is the micrologic. So that is almost done. That's actually 5 different presentations that I'm putting together, probably 30 to 50 minutes worth of training presentations, one on each of the families. And that one's almost done. I'm leaving the look and feel of all the slides the way I received them. So there'll be some different looks as you see over time. There was new information that came out. But it was a great refresher for me putting them on. Like what came in the Micrologics 1100 originally, and then what came in the Series B, and then which products support CIP versus CSP. So a lot of like education of myself on some of these older topics. So in the SICK 500 PLC5 slides, I don't have a lot of slides, so I'm going to be using images from the manuals. I do have a box of floppies somewhere. I got to dig in to see if I can find any slides, but especially on the PLC5, that came out before PowerPoint existed, so not a lot of original slide decks on that one. There were actual slides that you could put in a projector, but I don't have any of those. Um, in any case, so now the big news. I just got this email this morning, a digital twin update. So if you guys haven't seen the digital twin yet, this is what it looks like. Let me make sure it's coming up. Okay, good. So, whoops, let me clear the bin out. And this is for those students who they have a PLC, but they don't have any buttons, wires, switches. Maybe you live in an apartment, you don't want to, or you're just busy, you don't want to put all this stuff together, or you want to learn on your laptop while you're traveling. You don't want to bring a suitcase around with you with a bunches buttons and lights and switches. So this is free to all our students, along with the PLC application simulator, and this connects to your compact logics, control logics, Micro 800 Sim, Factory Talk Echo. It also talks to basically PLCs with Ethernet. It does not. I tried it with the PLC5. It did not talk to the PLC5 SLC 500 Micrologics. Um, yeah, it's really these guys to include the drivers for Control Logics, Compact Logics, and Micro 800. So that's you won't even hear me mention this in the Micrologics 6500 or PLC5 courses because it doesn't support it. Factory IO does support. Um, MicroLogic 6500, not PLC5, but Factory IO, I can't build anything like this in Factory IO. I got something close that I may give away to students in the future, but in any case, this just simulates the process. So the code that's in the PLC I'm running this with is actually the code we create in the course. So very excited to give this away, but I have run into some problems with it. So let's go back to PowerPoint. And here's the news I just got about this digital twin software. First of all, it's now available in a monthly subscription, just 19 euros per month. A lot of these European companies are just doing European spreadsheets because the dollar and the euro, they go up and down all the time. So in any case, maybe that's like $22 a month. So you get 90 days for free with my courses, right? But what if 90 days isn't enough? Maybe you took the Micro 800 course and then you're going to take the Control Logics course and the Compact Logics course. You could easily run out of 90 days. So instead of having to buy it for $450, you can now just get it for 1 month for $22 or $23 and continue using it. So I think that is so cool. There's actually a lower cost version called the Player that's also available. I think it's under $20. So if you didn't even need to create your own machines, you could just get that one. And here's a big update too. I think in my lessons I say it only supports version 30 or 31 and up, right? And so that's a bummer because I know a lot of the older products, even though my newest course is 31 through 38, people taking my older courses, I gave this digital twin to them as well because hey, maybe you're servicing version 20, L6s, right? So I was really bummed out when it wasn't supporting V20, but they say they fixed that. Okay, and it was really just what wasn't it working? It was the reads and the writes. Only one of those wasn't working. So obviously you need to do both for it to work. So that's good. Now I have not tested this, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't recommend you download this right away because I just tried to test the student virtual machine I just showed you with the latest rev, and it's not working. So I don't know what's causing that, but I'll get to the bottom of that this week or next week. They also created a new community for people to share their own machines. So it's not just the machines that come with it. So you get my free one, plus there's a bunch in the examples folder of 3D digital twins you can use with your controller. I'm going to try to cover those in the 2026 course. But there's also a place now if you want to build your own machine, which is completely free to build your own machine as long as you have a software license, then you can share your creations or download other people's creations. I think that is so cool. Um, as far as the 3D PLC Lab 3D player now also supports any of these creations made with the studio. That wasn't always the case. So if you want to get the lower price unit and just have the player, and if you're not going to be creating your own digital twins, that saves you some money there. and they have a brand new updated website. So very excited that you can now, if your 90-day free trial runs out, you can now get it for just $19 a month, or I'm sorry, 19 euros a month. And I'm also excited to test out the version 20 support. But I just loaded the latest version on my computer here. I just loaded the student digital twin in, and it's not working. I don't know why. It may require me to do a reboot. That's why I went back to the old version on VM, which I just showed you. That was actually running in VMware. Let me go back here. So that's one of the things I like. It runs great in VMware. You know what I'm saying? So, I can just run the digital twin right in here with Studio 5000 and everything else I'm using. See, this is VMware. So the graphics, I can tell some of the reflections and stuff aren't supported because the virtual machines, their video cards aren't as good as your base PC. But in any case, I just love that it's supported in VMware because that is just makes it portable. You do need internet access for it to check the license, though. So in any case, yeah, very excited about that. So the digital twin now has a monthly subscription. Now they say they support V20. Please don't upgrade yet. I got to find out what's wrong with the student digital twin first to see why it's not working in that. And just very excited that they have the cheaper 3D player supported now as well as the community site. And again, let me go back here one more time. Just remind you that the spring sale, spring 2026, that coupon code expires Sunday night. So if you want to save 20% off any of my online courses or bundles, please use that coupon. Also, last chance to enroll in the in-person class here, June 9th through 11th. You're going to contact me. I'm only taking minimum of 2 people at a time now and that is through the rest of today. So if you see this and you have a couple people you need to send to training, let me know. Logic's live sale, $799.99 for 20 hours of training, virtual training, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, from July 7th through September 15th. That's open, and that sale is a limited time. Again, new lessons coming Monday, and this is what I'm working on down here. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode of What's New in School. I want to wish you all good health and happiness, and until next time, my friends, peace.